Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but we're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on social media and with all your friends and neighbors, because Joanne's Nutrition World in downtown Fort Pierce, Florida now presents to you Joanne's World of Nutrition. And here's your host, the one and only Joanne Seeger.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning. We really appreciate it. We have a great guest on this morning. I am so excited. Amy Hall with Sun Warrior is going to help teach us all about the collagen and protein world. So have your pens and paper ready. Sun Warrior is something that I do carry at my store and at the new location in Port St. Lucie on the corner of Cameo and Port St. Lucie Boulevard. I'll have even more choices because I have a little more room there. So I'm super excited about the second location. If you have any questions about it, call the store, 772-464-3598. We're working really hard to get the doors open. Just have to do all that ordinary stuff like licensing and permitting and inspecting, the boring stuff, so to get everything on the shelves and ready to sell. All right, without further ado, good morning, Amy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great, Joanne. How are you this morning?
Wonderful. So I always start my show with some breath work because I get really hyper with all the grandkids and kids at my house, so I need to center myself. Are you good with that?
That sounds awesome to me.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to do some breath work, everyone. So if I have any newbies on the line, super simple. Close your eyes if you can. We're going to exhale out anything that doesn't feel comfortable with our body. We're going to inhale only using our nose for 5, exhale for 5, and let's just do a couple rounds so we can get right into the info. Okay, everyone, drop your shoulders, relax, exhale. And you ready to count, sir?
Now, are we going to do
5 in and 5 out, 2 rounds.
Okay, 2 rounds,
Super
5 in, 5
simple.
out. All right.
All right.
All right, begin and let it all out. Okay, let's begin the intake through the nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wonderful. Thank you very much,
And if you're
sir.
driving, please open your eyes back up.
Well, Amy, welcome to the show. Your first time on, and I'm hoping not the last. I love Sun Warrior. I love that you are working with them, and I hear we have something in common. You are a passionate fitness enthusiast, and you do triathlons. So
Yes, indeed.
I feel like it was a different lifetime before menopause, but I did triathlons. I did 5 in 1 year, and that was pretty much it. That's how I roll. It's like I kind of go all in and then kind of go all out. So, but
Mhm,
it
mhm.
was so, oh my God, contagious. Like my friend
Yes,
asked me recently, well, why did you do so many in 1 year? I said, because they have the best marketing team ever. As soon as you finish the finish line and you're on this adrenaline high, they have this convenient table set up right there as you're ready to die and say, hey, the next one is in this city. Why don't you sign up right now? So
yep.
once I committed, I was like, all right, I guess I gotta do this again. But yeah, so thankfully the fifth one, there was no table there. So I was like, oh, I can go back to my other life. But it's super cool. So you grew up with health and wellness, and you've been working with Sun Warrior for about 14 years?
Well, since its founding, which is a little over 15 years now, so quite a
Wonderful.
while.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell us some more details about yourself, like why Sun Warrior and what made you stay, because 15 years is a long time.
Yes, yes. So, like you said, fitness and health has been my passion really ever since growing up. I was raised in a very health conscious family. I actually had members of my family that battled some very serious diseases and complications, and really through health and holistic and more of homeopathic treatment, were they able to get over those issues? And we had a health food store when I was younger. Our family did, and so I ran that health food store for my parents, and it taught me a lot, not only about the nutrition end of health, but also supplementation and how different things can be very beneficial, and they kind of hand in hand tie together to be able to attain your goals, or even solve some of the issues or problems that people face. So it really opened my eyes quite a bit. My father's actually one of the founders of Sun Warrior, so it just felt like a natural fit to when Sun Warrior started. Like I said, about 15 years ago, there wasn't really a lot of plant-based options. So if you were gonna, if you didn't want a whey protein or an egg white protein, really you're looking at a soy protein. And my dad didn't feel like that was a very good option for a plant-based protein. And so that's kind of how Sun Warrior was born, is the need to offer a good plant-based source, protein source that wasn't a soy, and obviously that was vegan plant-based. So that's kind of how Sun Warrior started. And we started with a brown rice protein. And it just, I was actually pregnant with my youngest at that time, and I was very sick. And my dad handed me, he said, "Here, you've got to try, we're just about ready to launch it. You've got to try this new protein." And I trusted him. And actually, it was probably the thing that saved me through that pregnancy. It just, I had so much energy. I didn't feel nauseous. It was a brown rice protein it actually been fermented. So it was very easy to digest, very simple on my system. So that kind of was my first step. And then just shortly after, I live in Utah, and so shortly after the Sun Warrior launched and our first product launched, my dad calls me and says, "We really need to get this out to stores. We need a broker out there in Utah, and you'd be amazing at it." And anyhow, it was, I had understand that field and worked obviously through our health food store, and I talked to a lot of brokers and kind of understood how that all worked. And so that's where I started with Sun Warrior. And then shortly, within a couple of years, they asked me to start educating on just as we launched a new product. We did a lot of fairs and a lot of expos and a lot of demos, and they asked me to start educating different stores and different brokers as we were adding our team and just growing as a company. So it felt very natural, and I have a passion for it, and I can't imagine if Sun Warrior wasn't around, I would probably fall into something else that was along these lines, because this is where my passion and really, yeah.
Amy, and you know what? You and I both understand that there's nothing like learning while you're standing up on a health food store floor, right? Because you get
Oh yeah.
so many questions all day long. In 8 hours, it's like you're working urgent care, It's like
Yes,
it's
yes.
like, okay, I had this problem, I had that problem, I had that. And a
Hmm.
lot of my clients and customers are nurses, and they're like, "Joanne, you're doing triage all day, right?" And
Right,
I'm like,
right.
I know. It's like people walk in and it's like, well, I've been to 6 doctors and they can't help me. What do you think? It's
Right, right.
crazy.
And I mean, you have to say, I'm not licensed, but come on, let's look some things up. And this is what I've seen happen, and I've seen these successes.
Yep.
And actually, that's my favorite part of the field is helping people and finding solutions, because they do come to you in a helpless situation because they've tried many other options.
Love it. And Amy, I'm going to read the Sun Warrior mission statement because I absolutely love it. And that's kind of how I try to lead my life. So, their mission statement is our mission to guide individuals on their path to light, energy, and love inspires everything we do. So I love this. And it really is like what I try to stand for, that it's really about, the love you have in your life. And I know you're filled with it with 3 kids. So congratulations. And yeah, and you guys make not only really clean products, but they're affordable. Like when you
Mm.
put these against a lot of other protein powders, I mean, they're like 20 to 25% less in cost. So I applaud you because these days people need things that they can budget for in their everyday, if especially if they have lots of kids and everyone's having a protein shake in the morning, they need something
Right.
affordable because these canisters can go quick in a family. So I love
Mm.
that. So tell me, so your dad, I did meet him at the last show, and wow,
Oh, yeah.
he's a wealth of information, really passionate guy about his products. And you guys, how many products do you have now, 15 years later?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say in the 30 to 40 range.
I
We've
was gonna
we've
say,
really
I know about
expanded.
at least 20 of them. Okay, that's great.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited. And every sample you guys send to me, my employee and I, like the amino one, like all of them, like we're like, oh my God, this is so good. It tastes so
Oh,
good.
good.
It's agreeing to our
Hmm.
digestive system. So yeah, we're really excited about keep trying things and helping the consumer make really good choices. But I have to ask you, so there is the Warrior Blend and the Classic Plus, right? So like where did your dad go with like the decision to make all these different blends? Like can you explain obviously they all have great ingredients and why the need for different choices?
Of course, yes. So, like I mentioned, we started out with the brown rice protein, and the brown rice does have some texture to it. So, as we began to grow and get bigger and get more into, larger stores and across the globe, we understood that people didn't like the texture so much. So, Warrior Blend was our next protein that we launched, and it's our grain-free protein. So it is made with pea protein, hemp protein, and goji berry protein. That's a really great synergistic blend of all the amino acids. All of Sun Warrior's protein do contain a complete amino acid profile. The Warrior Blend protein is higher in some of the aminos. It most closely relates to a whey protein. So when you're having people that are maybe transitioning from a whey protein to a plant-based protein, the Warrior Blend is a really great one to go to. There's no texture because there's no grain. So the Warrior Blend is one of our smoothest proteins. It's probably our most well-known protein. And really the reason why we then after that we did the Classic Plus, like what you have there. And the Classic Plus, it's kind of a combination of the Warrior Blend and the rice protein. So it does have the pea protein like the Warrior Blend does, but it also has the amaranth, the quinoa, the chia seed, and the brown rice. So the Classic Plus protein has non-glutinous grains, so it is still a gluten-free protein. But it's just a little bit different. It's good to actually switch off your protein sources from time to time. For me, a whey protein doesn't do well with my system. So for me, I do completely plant-based proteins. And for me, my body's able to handle all of the different plant-based proteins. Sometimes we talk with people and really for some reason, their body doesn't handle the pea protein as well. So they stick more to the rice protein. Or the Classic Plus protein doesn't have as much pea protein as the Warrior Blend protein. So the pea protein amount is smaller per serving because you have all of the other non-glutinous grains in there as well. And so their body handles that one a little bit better than the Warrior Blend. So that's kind of the reason with so many different protein options is, we have all these different dietary needs. We want to be able to offer a protein that will fit well for your system. And again, if your system is good with any of these options, it's really great to switch it out and give your body something new. And knowing that you're still getting a good, complete, nutritious protein, but it's something new, kind of can help take you off a plateau physically and fitness-wise as well. Just trying a new protein.
My employee Diane, she donates plasma, and the plasma place does like check like your protein levels. I thought that was really cool, and So she'll use your Sun Warrior, to get, her protein levels up. And it's so convenient because some of them, you don't even have to make it into a meal or a shake. It's just like instant. So I love that.
Yes.
So what is your, since you've been working with it for years, what is your favorite of the line for the proteins?
So my favorite is our collagen builder, and that's the one that I use on a daily basis. The Warrior Blend, I actually switch between the Warrior Blend and the Classic Plus for my family. Every morning, it's a protein shake. The breakfast is, we do frozen bananas, some nut butters, almond or coconut milk, our protein powder, and I soak chia seeds. I always have a bowl of soaked chia seeds in my fridge. And I whip those out and do a couple of big tablespoons in there and blend that up with some ice, and that's breakfast in the morning. So we go through the Warrior Blend, the Classic Plus, and then I personally I would rather have the collagen builder just to meet some of my personal goals. So a little bit of a variety of all of them.
Okay, I
What
love
I use.
that. Now, when you say because you're so athletic and you're in the fitness industry, is that why you do the collagen too, to help support your muscles more?
I do. I do the collagen. The protein shake that I make for my family. I actually do intermittent fasting personally, and so I usually don't. I eat until after I get done with my workout, which is maybe around 11 or so, and I do the collagen builder. And I always make sure I have a bunch of fruit. I like to eat fruit in season. So right now, melons and things of that nature, berries. But I like to do the collagen builder because you do get the 14 grams of protein. I actually do a scoop and a half of the collagen builder because I want to be closer to that 20 grams of protein per serving. That does well for my body. And then the collagen builder also has, so obviously you're getting all of your protein, but it also has the hyaluronic acid. It has the tremella mushroom, which is really great for your skin. It's got the biotin. It has some greens, so you get the spirulina, the spinach, the kale. Then again, you have the vitamin C also. Vitamin C is a cofactor for building collagen. So our collagen is a little bit different than maybe some of the bovine collagen or marine collagen that you may see on the shelf. Our collagen, since Sun Warrior is a completely plant-based company, our collagen is plant-based nutrients to help your body build your own collagen and elastin.
Yeah, it was my other employee that actually turned me on to Some Warrior because she is a vegan. And so she's like, Joanne, you have to have some vegan choices for collagen.
Options,
And I'm like,
yes,
okay, who? And so she's the one
yes,
that
yes.
told me about it, and she loves the vanilla flavored, loves it, absolutely.
Oh, that's well, and I would love to just education. I love to educate, as you know, we talked about, we do that all day long being in the health food store, but just something to kind of educate everyone about when you're taking a bovine collagen, you're ingesting a bovine collagen, that is collagen that animal has made, and when you mix it up and you drink that, it doesn't instantly give you collagen. It's not like a one-for-one thing that you drink that and now you got collagen. Those are amino acids that animal has made, and they have been ground and into that powder form. And when we ingest it, those are amino acids that our body has to break down like any other amino acids. So to actually build the collagen, you need cofactors. So if you are going to use, a bovine collagen to build your collagen, you need to make sure that you're taking trace minerals and vitamin C. Those cofactors, they kind of actually form that collagen helix to form the collagen. So it's not a one-for-one. You ingest a collagen that an animal has made, and then you've got collagen. So you actually need those cofactors to build the collagen. So Sun Warrior, like I said before, being a plant-based company, we see the value and the need to make sure that our collagen and elastin levels are up. They, support our bone health. They, great for our hair, skin, and nails. Actually, really great for our digestion as well. But being a plant-based company, we started to kind of learn about, okay, what builds collagen? So you need amino acids, you need the vitamin C, you need the minerals those are the things that you need. We also added, like I mentioned, a few of the other ingredients in our collagen builder to make it a very complete product to build both collagen and elastin. So it can be very, very effective, when compared with maybe a bovine collagen. I feel like we always get that question. Plant-based is a little newer to the market, and it's, it makes us kind of think in a different way. And a lot of people think it's not as effective, and it's not, it's not the whey protein, or it's not the bovine collagen, and it's not something that they're used to seeing all of the time. But plant-based can be just as effective, if not more, because you don't tend to have a lot of the allergies and a lot of some of the other issues that can come with some of the other, product options available. So the plant-based options, especially when we're talking proteins and collagen builder, very, very effective.
You described that really well. And so the collagen, I do have it at the store, the Sun Warrior collagen. And do you make different varieties of that, like you do the protein? Because I'm not sure, like I have the one that says collagen, but are there different options?
Yeah, so we have the collagen builder, the protein, which is the pea protein, and the brown rice peptides is the protein source. We have several flavors of that. I know you mentioned the Tahitian vanilla that your employee really likes. That's actually my favorite as well. But we do have a lot of other flavors. So that one is the collagen builder. And then we actually have, it's called our beauty green. And it is very similar to our collagen builder, except for there's no protein in it. So it's more of a green product. So it has the wheatgrass, it has the barley grass, the spirulina. It also has a vegetable blend. And then it does have those added nutrients that are in our collagen builder. So it's got the vitamin C, it's got the hyaluronic acid, it has the sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn is amazing. It's in both of the beauty greens and our collagen builder. Very high in antioxidants, also high in vitamin C, but you really want foods that are high in antioxidants, because actually that helps, once you've built your collagen in your system, you don't want to lose it. You want to hang on to it. So the more antioxidants, the more greens, the more fresh fruits and vegetables that you can include into your diet helps keep the collagen and the elastin that you've already built. So that's why when you look at the ingredients in both our collagen builder and our beauty greens, you see a lot of whole food nutrients and free radical fighters to help hang on to what you have while your body's building more. I also wanted to mention the sea buckthorn actually stimulates the stem cells of our collagen. So it not only has the antioxidants to fight off the free radicals, to help keep the collagen that you've built, it's also actually stimulating those collagen cells to produce more. So to answer your question, the beauty greens is our other collagen building product. It doesn't have any protein. It's more of a green. I love it. You mix it with water. We have a pina colada and a natural flavor. The pina colada is delicious. You just mix it with water, and it's got your wheatgrass and veggie blend. You're getting your greens for the day, but it also has those collagen building nutrients as well. So 2 options to build collagen and elastin.
Wow, both of them sound incredible, especially the beauty greens. That a sea buckthorn is one of my favorite nutrients. I usually recommend it to all my clients that are over 45. It's like a must have. Yeah.
Oh, it is. And that's in both the beauty greens and the collagen builder. So.
Yep, definitely. I mean, sea buckthorn is incredible, especially with the omega-7 helping with the fatty acids. All right, so you have so many products now, so I don't want to, let's go back to the protein for a minute, okay? So
Sure.
with the protein, you said it has a perfect profile, so it includes all the non-essential and essential amino acids?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
it does.
beautiful.
It does. If you look at the difference between the Classic Plus and the Warrior Blend, you're going to see those amino acids are slightly different from each of the formulations. So, there are times, when people are, having different issues, and, maybe their dietitian or their doctor, or they're actually even just doing some studying on their own, and they're like, oh, I really need to up my leucine levels, or I really need to, up whatever amino acids. So I love that they have them listed right there on the side panel, so you can see how much of each one you're getting. The Warrior Blend is a little higher in the BCAAs, so that leucine, isoleucine, and valine.
Can
The
you take a
BCAAs.
moment and explain BCAA a little more in detail? Because I have mentioned it before on the show, and then consumers have called me, Joanne, what was those initials that you were just saying real
Yes,
fast?
yes,
The
yes,
branched chain amino
yes.
acids?
So
Yeah.
yes, yes. So they are the branched chain amino acids. They're known as BCAAs, and I know sometimes we just roll things off our tongues and expect everyone to know what we're talking about. Uh, so the BCAAs are, again, amino acids that consist of leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Obviously they're amino acids. Amino acids help your body build protein. So very essential. The reason why they call it the branched chain amino acids, these are really important for not only the lean muscle fiber growth, but they also really help you recover, especially after being active. So, most people, whether they go walking or swimming or go play tennis, or maybe they're a very serious athlete and maybe they do triathlons and, things of that nature. So, we need that protein to not only rebuild the muscle fiber and which is beneficial in so many ways besides just, the look of having built muscles. But they actually help your body recover from being active. It actually eases muscle soreness as well. It can prevent muscle wasting. So the BCAAs, and they are usually always part of a complete protein. So whenever you're looking at, whether it's a Sun Warrior protein or any other protein, the BCAAs are part of that complete protein profile. So when we talk about the Warrior Blend being a little higher in the BCAAs than the Classic Plus, it just means that the leucine, the isoleucine, and the valine, those amino acids are slightly higher in the Warrior Blend than they are the Classic Plus. So just depending on your goals, you choose which protein works
I
better for
love it.
you.
You described it perfectly. And I love that all of the amino acids are listed with the exact amount, because some people that are like you going down the rabbit hole of research for amino acids, they'll look one up and go, wow, that sounds incredible. I
Yeah,
can't believe it does this. And
yeah.
then they go to the next one. Wait, I need this one. But in nature, most of these things are always together. And some warrior in a vegan form has supplied all that's needed for the body. So I do love that. And one research that I started reading was interesting. There was this thought process many years ago, I'm not sure how strong it still is, that unless if you're not working out or very fit or active, you don't need extra protein. And they're finding out that even oxidative stress, just sitting in an office all day long, you still need that protein source to fuel every single function of the human body. So amino acids are not just for the guys lifting weights or the girls that are
No,
doing those long bike rides, right? And so if you can elaborate on
of course.
it's really a
Yes, yes.
misconception.
Yeah, and thank you, John. That's a really great question, because you see protein powders or creatine or some of these other supplements, and you just think they're for the bodybuilders or the very serious athletes. But when we're talking about protein, something to keep in mind: your body doesn't make amino acids. So there's a lot of different structures that your body is able to produce and able to make. But amino acids is not something that your body will make from food. So you actually have to get those amino acids from your diet or from your food source or supplement with. So, the difference of the amount of protein that you need per day really varies on your activity level. Men actually assimilate more protein than women, especially in a single serving. I'm just kind of like earlier when I said, with the collagen builder, it has 14 grams of protein, but I like to take a scoop and a half because for me, 20 grams of protein is a really good amount. I am very active, so 20 grams works well for me. Maybe if you're not super active, and maybe like Joanne said, maybe you're at the office all day, but that oxidative stress, maybe the lack of sleep and all these different issues. But even if you're living the perfect life, and you don't really care about being active and whatever, you would still need protein, even if you didn't have any oxidative stress, even if you didn't have any type of sleeping disruptions or disorders, or not being active, even if you just had this perfect picture of a life. Obviously we all have that perfect picture in our own, but you would still need protein every day because your body doesn't produce it on its own. So you need the amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. And obviously there are a lot of different ways to get it. There are a lot of different food sources, plant sources. Sun Warrior wants to be a really your vegan option. Not everybody can, their bodies can't handle a whey protein. Like I was telling you, I get very gassy and bloated whenever I did whey protein, and I was much younger, and I was actually in high school and trying to be fit, and I'm learning about protein and all these different things that you need to take, and I was just like, oh my, do I have to feel this way to take my protein? And anyway, the more and more I learned, I just learned that, that doesn't set well with me. So there's actually a lot of people that they're not really understanding why they feel bloated and why they feel gassy, and until they start to eliminate certain things out of their diet. So that's why I was saying the Warrior Blend is a really good option for people that are starting to eliminate maybe that whey protein, or maybe some of the other things out of their diet, and wanting to add in different plant-based and clean options. The Warrior Blend is a really great one, and that profile amino acid is very close to the whey profile amino acid.
Amy, that was great. That was really well said. And you brought back a memory of my past. I used to work with bodybuilders and bodybuilding shows with a protein manufacturer. And I did notice that they just looked at labels for the grams per serving. And so
Mhm.
I used to kind of chuckle because so many different manufacturers just use different scoop sizes. It was like,
Oh yes.
it was like, I'm like, they would look at these great big, monster containers and be like, oh, it's 42 grams, per
Mhm.
serving. Meanwhile, the scooper looked like, you're shoveling dog food into a dish, like it's humongous.
Yes.
And
Well,
I,
and
I would
42
just crack
grams.
up.
Yes.
Go ahead. I
Yeah.
know what you're going
Well,
to
and
say.
it's
Go for it.
yeah. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. Protein, 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 right? We hear it all the time that we need protein, but we have to think about how much we're having per serving, because even if you have the very best, cleanest Sun Warrior protein, and you're trying to scoop up 60 grams of protein and put it in your protein shake, and that's your meal, your body does not know what to do with that amount of protein. So kind of like I said, men actually can absorb more protein than women. And of course, that's generally speaking. It really depends on your activity level. It depends on your age. It depends on your digestion. But really, if you're like, oh, I'm going to get all my protein first thing in the morning and just get it over with, right? Your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it actually becomes a toxin. Even if you're talking about a super clean protein that you're taking, if your body doesn't know what to do with it and can't absorb it, it becomes a toxin. So it's actually, more hurtful for your body to do too much. So, do some studying and learn how many grams of protein for you per serving. Usually for women, in the studying that I've done is normally between about 16 and 22 grams of protein per serving for an active woman. Teenagers are in that, 15 to 20 grams per protein. Again, that depends on their activity level. Younger kids, you want to probably be more in that 10 to 12 grams of protein. And as we get a little bit older, our bodies, protein is probably one of the harder nutrients for our bodies to digest generally. And so as we get older, sometimes our digestion is not as much. So, maybe in our, 30s to 50s, we can handle more protein, but maybe as we get a little bit older, we may have to drop some of those grams per serving just to ensure that we are absorbing it well. So
Absolutely.
you can't get everything you need for the day in one serving. You've got to split it up.
And that was the only pitfall I felt that intermittent fasting, when people didn't do the full-on research about it, they would just do that one meal a day and really try to cram all their protein needs into that one
Yeah.
meal. And like I explained, your kidneys are going to take that brunt of those excess amino acids. And there are some people that will start their day, and how intermittent fasting is easy for them is with so much coffee. They'll just load their
Mm-hmm.
body up with all coffee all morning long. So I'm like, you're dehydrating your kidneys and then throwing,
Yep.
a good 50, 60 grams of protein in right away. And so your kidneys are not going to like this. So I love everything you're saying. And the other thing too is quality. Not only are you guys so affordable, but the quality is there. Most protein companies, a lot of people, when my store, I slimmed it down and I opened a wellness center, they were like, Joanne, where's all the protein powders? I said, well, the only ones that could stay were the ones that were clean. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
only have three
Mm-hmm.
choices because they all have artificial sweeteners, or the ones that are deemed okay, not artificial, but they're still not really good, and or artificial flavors, or way too much sugar, or just poor poor grades of protein. I try to teach the consumers about the screens that the protein manufacturers use, and they can damage the protein cell walls, and it can become a carcinogenic. And there's
Yes.
there's so much to the protein industry that people, unfortunately, they're just looking at the label. How many grams of protein? What's the cost? And do I like the
Mm-hmm.
flavor? But you can
Yes.
really damage your kidneys and your body if you do not choose well. So I love, and I'm so excited about bringing in more SKUs, so people have more options.
Nice.
And I always say you don't have to be
Nice.
vegan to use some warrior, like I'm
Of
like you. I
course.
do. So my husband loves the texture of vegan proteins. I love
Mm-hmm.
more whey, but I like the nutrition and the antioxidants and the polyphenols and all the fiber that the vegan options give you. So I take a
Mm-hmm.
scoop of your Sun Warrior and a scoop of my favorite whey, and there you go.
Oh, perfect.
I make it a little
Yeah. Yes.
creamy, and I keep it's about, just like you said, about 22 grams of protein, with my combo
Mm-hmm.
effect. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So you can play around, but the fact that you put the chia, the hemp, the goji. Tell me more about the
Mm-hmm.
goji. That was so exciting to me because goji, I used to sell those liquid concentrates of goji and pass
Oh,
the
yes.
CDs
Yes.
out. Do you remember that company? Then
Yes,
it went
I
mass
do.
market, and of course, like a lot of companies, the demise, once it goes
Yes,
big.
it didn't work. Yes. Yeah, goji berry is actually very high in antioxidants. It's interesting. It's actually the only fruit that does contain all of the amino acids. So the pea protein, the hemp protein, and the goji berry, each one of them on its own does contain each of the amino acids. Now the level of amino acids that you need to make a complete protein, you couldn't just have goji berry powder and get enough of the amino acids, but it does carry all of the essential amino acids. So I love that we've added that to the Warrior Blend. Just very high in antioxidants, really great for your immune system. I talked about how important the antioxidants are. They help keep our cells reproducing and help keep our body running efficiently. So yeah, the goji berries, really, really great option in that protein. And I did want to mention just something about Sun Warrior. You had mentioned that, you had to kind of look at all your protein options when you opened your wellness center, because maybe, you're offering things that may not be super healthy. And, Sun Warrior doesn't add any sugar to any of its products. So we add an organic stevia or monk fruit. There are a couple of our products that have a combination of both the stevia and the monk fruit, but mostly we sweeten with stevia. It's an organic stevia. It does not raise the glycemic levels at all, so it is safe for people with blood sugar issues, and it doesn't raise your blood sugar levels. We also have a natural option that is an unsweetened, unflavored option because people, they maybe want to flavor their smoothie, their own way. Or I actually bake with our unflavored options. I add it into pancakes or waffles, or I'm not much of a baker. I make more like dinner style foods than like baking food, but I was tasked to make a cake. And so I was just, looking at the ingredients, and I decided I'm going to add some protein to this cake because I'll feel a little bit better about eating it. So I took the protein scoop out, and I added all the flour in. And with the protein scoop, I took 2 scoops of the flour out, and I added 2 scoops of the Warrior Blend unflavored protein in. Mixed it up, baked the cake. It was wonderful. Nobody knew. You couldn't tell. And I knew that, I'm bragging to people, you're actually getting protein with this cake. But anyhow, so there's a lot of, in fact, if you go to sunwarrior.com, there's a lot of recipes where you can use our protein powders in dressings, in, baked goods, things of that nature. That we have some very creative people that have helped put recipes together. So
Now,
a lot of
Amy,
options.
I think that's a phenomenal idea, and some people aren't ready to lower their carbs or, consider, giving up cake and things like that. So, can
Right.
you emphasize why it's more beneficial for, their blood sugar or glucose levels in general to have a little protein mixed in with their sweets?
Yes, of course, of course. And I agree. I think you should never do anything extreme because you probably won't stick to it. You got to do, little by little. So adding in, like if we're talking pancakes or waffles or some type of a sweeter thing that maybe even you're going to add, syrup or something sweet on the top, you really want a balance of protein and carbs. So if you can add some protein in, if you can use whole grain instead of just white flour, if you can, so that's more of a complex carb. It actually helps with your insulin levels. It helps it so it doesn't raise it when you have that balance of protein and carbs. It's actually more filling and more satisfying. You stay full and satisfied for longer. And with the protein, you're building that lean muscle fiber, which in turn helps your body to just continually be more of a fat burner and more kind of keeps your metabolism going a little bit quicker when you have that protein. So there's actually a lot of different options. Or a lot of different reasons. Also, to have that stronger muscle fiber, it's actually very protective of our bones as well. So we want to make sure, not only our kids, but as we get older as well, we want to make sure that we're protecting our bones. So the more muscle fiber that you have, you're actually, more stable with your bones as well. So,
And especially the heart, right? Some people, like
yes.
in the fitness industry, it's like, let's think about our heart too, not just, our abs
Mm-hmm.
and, our biceps. Yeah, the
Right,
heart is
right.
really protected with the amino acids and the collagen. Really, really
Yes.
protected.
Actually, every system in our body, protein affects every system.
I know it's such a good point, and that's why, and I love when you were just saying about the waffles. So there are a couple brands out there that are making protein waffles and pancakes,
Mm-hmm.
and it can get expensive when you buy them packaged
Mm-hmm.
already. I know they're convenient and they're not totally clean. They're kind of clean, but not totally clean. And so making your own, and it's perfect for the person that just doesn't like smoothies or shakes. There are people out there
Right.
that don't like to drink their food. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the most convenient, awesome thing on the planet, but there's a lot of people that don't agree with me. So that would, you make a big batch of pancakes, throw the protein mix in there, and then you can freeze them, and then it's more economical and as convenient as buying it at the store already done. Just one day of baking, and I love doing
Sure.
that. Yeah, it's great
Yes.
because the kids don't even
People.
really know that it's a healthy option. They're like, "Oh, I'm eating
Yeah.
pancakes, yay!"
Yeah, yeah. That, yeah, and again, like people make protein balls and then they freeze them. They add nut butters and maybe a chocolate protein and some coconut oil and some chia seeds. And yeah, there's actually a lot of recipes for protein balls just online, but Sun Warrior has quite a few as well. And then you just freeze them, and when your kids are hungry, they're just right there, ready to grab out and eat. So a lot of options.
Yeah,
If
that
you don't
is.
like drinking a
Yeah,
smoothie.
and those protein balls are delicious, and I absolutely I
Hmm.
used to make them a lot, especially when I did the triathlons, because they were
Yes,
so convenient. Because I noticed I was like, why are all these people like going in their little bags and like eating things during, where meanwhile I
hmm.
was trying to like push myself and not do anything but water, and they kept snacking, and then they were
Oh,
telling me that
yeah,
they're
no.
using these protein balls, and I'm like, well, those are really cute and they look delicious, and so,
Yeah,
yeah,
you need the fuel. We need the fuel for whatever we're doing in our lives. And the more active and the more, the more you have going on, the more fuel you need.
I know it's like I don't know, my brain and a lot of my clients' brain as we get older, it seems like we get so nervous about making good food choices, so we starve our bodies. Like you just literally
Yeah,
starve them. So that's why I love that you guys have economical, super clean options, so we don't have to. Like we can feel
right.
comfortable having a nice big, shake in the morning, and and then and let's go to that. Like, so if someone is knows that they're just going to do a decent meal at home, say 7 o'clock, would they do like a couple shakes a day, like, late morning and then lunchtime if they don't have time for food?
Yeah, so there's actually a few different options. A lot of people do it first thing in the morning, kind of as their breakfast. Some people like to eat fruit in the morning for breakfast, or maybe they're doing the intermittent fasting, and so they'll blend one up and they'll take it to work with them. And you can mix, nut butters and different fruits and veggies. Even, I'll throw an avocado in with my smoothie sometimes, just to get the essential fatty acids, the chia seeds. You can really get very creative, or you can be very minimalistic and, just a scoop of the protein and some almond milk or coconut milk, and you're good to go. So depending on what you're doing, but a lot of people, especially in the summertime, sometimes when it's very hot outside, it just, you don't really want a big meal. You want something that's lighter, something that's a little easier to digest. And, for me, I have very active kids, and sometimes, we're at baseball games till 9, 10 o'clock at night. So sometimes you come home and it's just so late, but you are hungry, and you don't want to starve yourself. You need the fuel because tomorrow morning's going to come. You want to be fueled up. So a lot of times you can do a shake at night for your dinner meal. So just depending on, what your goals are, some people will do, maybe they're going to do, they want maybe to lose a few pounds. And so they're going to start off, maybe they're going to do the first couple of weeks, and they're going to do, maybe a couple of shakes a day, or separate out one of their meals for just a shake during the day. If you're going to do that, it's totally great, but you want to make sure that you're getting the nutrition. So add in some berries, add in some coconut oil, add in some chia seeds, some nut butters. You want to make sure that you're fueling yourself. Yeah, you want to stay below a certain amount of calories, and you're kind of, wanting to jumpstart yourself. But really think about giving your body the nutrition that it needs. So, too many of these diets, we just, people just starve themselves, and then, yeah, they lose the weight that they want, but within a week or two, when they go back to their regular habit, they've gained it back. But the sad thing is, when you lose the weight quickly, you're losing more muscle than you are fat. And then when you gain it back, you're not gaining that muscle back right away. It takes a while for that muscle to be gained back. So be very careful about dieting. Make sure that you're giving your body the nutrition. We can always cut a few calories and make some substitutions, like adding in protein versus a white flour, or different options like that. There's a lot of different options, but make sure you're giving yourself nutrition. I think it's so important for our brain. Like you mentioned, as we get older, maybe we're not, maybe confident in our food choices. So then we just don't eat at all. But really, our brain is suffering from that. Our heart is suffering from that. So you want to make sure that you're fueling your entire body. We obviously, we eat to enjoy, but also we have to keep in mind we're eating to fuel our body. That's very, very important.
That's a perfect point, Amy. And I want to make another point, and I'm hoping you agree with me since you have 3 kids. We are going, for us here in Florida, we are going back to school next week. So Monday starts our
Us
school
too.
system. And if you have some cranky, tired kids that are gonna head home about, 2 to 3:30 in the afternoon, this is a perfect option for them
Mm-hmm.
because they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to want to sit down and eat a meal. Okay, they're going to be tired. They're going to, want to rest because they're trying to adjust from the summer schedule to the school schedule. So if you give them
Mm-hmm.
this yummy, delicious smoothie right after, it will help fuel their brain back, help stabilize their sugars, because we know most school lunches are very starch based and empty of nutrients most of the time. So just this is a great idea. I always try to do that with my kids because you needed to get through that really awkward time between 3:30 and dinner time, but you don't want them to
Mm-hmm.
just eat, a bag of pretzels or chips. So this will
Mm-hmm.
fuel their body better.
That's an excellent idea. Add some fruit in it with it. They'll enjoy it. It'll be refreshing. Give them a little extra fiber with the protein. It's a great idea.
Okay, awesome. How old are your kids?
So I have a 24 daughter, and then my son is 21, and then my youngest is a boy, and he's 15.
Okay, so we're more on the same age, kids. So I thought
Okay.
yours were, you look so young, Amy. I thought yours were little.
Oh, you're
I'm
so nice.
thinking like 3, 5, 7. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fun. Yes, I
yeah.
have 2 teenage girls right now in the house, and yeah, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
That
fun.
is a lot of fun. Yes,
It's like,
yes,
and that's the thing is like they'll bring home like these greens and stuff. I'm like, yeah, mommy's been giving it to you for years.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
love it.
Somebody else told them about it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm so excited about the Collagen Beauty. Is that what it's called? Okay.
Beauty greens.
Beauty. Okay, Beauty
Beauty
Greens.
greens.
Okay, Beauty
Mm-hmm.
Greens. I'm definitely going to bring that one in. I'm going to start taking it as soon as I get it. Amy, it was such a
Awesome.
pleasure. I hope you have a great end of the summer, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for
Bye.
having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Amy. All right, everyone. Have an awesome week. Talk to you next week.
You've been listening to Joanne's World of Nutrition, presented by Joanne's Nutrition World in downtown Fort Pierce. Scan the QR code that you'll see periodically on the archives here on YouTube, and go directly to visit joannesnutritionworld.com.